moving to the norwesterly and developing a new lifestyle, you weren't earning too much money in Perth. And I guess how arduous the work was for you, both physically and mentally, it probably wasn't great for your training as well. So I guess when you made this transition, how did this assist you with developing your prowess as a paddler and as an athlete?
Well, I think the trawler definitely gave me a strong work ethic, because you basically work pretty well all night. You had a bit of broken sleep through the night. The nets would go into the water. They'd come up 2 or 3 hours later. You'd sort out everything that was on it. You'd go back to sleep for an hour or so, and then you'd do that again, sort of 3 or 4 times through the night. And then in the day, you'd try and get a little bit of sleep. So you're sort of living on, I reckon, on average, about 5 hours sleep, every 24-hour period, with the longest period of sleep being about 2 hours, maybe. Um, and you would do that for 28 days straight, and then you'd have 2 or 3 days off over the full moon. So it was pretty hard. Like, it was really, and physical as well, because you're lifting stuff, you're carrying stuff, and you're wet, you're cold, all that sort of thing. So I think doing that, and then you get stung by bloody fish and bitten by crabs and all the things that want to kill you on the deck of a trawler. So sea snakes and big tiger sharks and you name it, that all came up in the nets. And then the nice things like turtles and stingrays and those sorts of things. But just all that stuff going on, and you're broken sleep, so you're constantly in like some sort of daze. And then some, as I said, sometimes I'd try and surf out at the islands or on the shore. So I surfed probably every second or third day. And yeah, it was interesting. It definitely gave me the strength to be able to deal with the heavier training load that I took on later in my life, and work and training. I just found it easy. Where some people say, "Oh, I'm not going to get up at 4:30 in the morning to go paddling." Well, that to me is the easy part of it. It's the other stuff that can be hard sometimes.
So when you say it's the easy part of it, I guess now we're in the midst of winter here in Sydney, and I remember my dad getting me up to go paddling at Sydney Northern Beaches Kayak Club, 4:30 in the morning. Matt and myself would go there, getting in the water with our thermals on, 12 degrees. At those early hours in the morning, why was that such a exciting routine for you? And was there ever times when it did get tough, or was it just something that you always thoroughly enjoyed, regardless of whether there was cold conditions or big swells, wind?
It's not something that I would rave about. There's some mornings I definitely don't enjoy it, but once you're out on the water, then you're sort of, all that stuff just goes away. I find that getting out of bed is probably the hardest bit, and then getting out of the car and going to the water is the next hard bit. But everything else is pretty easy. So what gets me out of bed each morning is I know that there's a coffee shop here just down the street, so I get a coffee on the way to paddling. So that's enough inspiration for me to get up. And then the next bit's just getting to paddling and seeing the group that I train or train with, and seeing those guys. And I guess the putting yourself in a situation where you're suffering, voluntary suffering,
Yep.
creates a bond with the group around you. So we have an amazing community in this paddling community, and your dad probably would have told you about that. And he was involved for some time, and we loved having Matt down at the sessions. He came down as a big fella, and I know he dropped about 7 kegs in the first couple of months. So and then he got to do some amazing events. He finished the Doctor, and he did the Molokai with Wayne, as you said, and for him to be able to do that, whereas there's a lot of guys that were in his situation, in their 40s, 50s, 60s, that don't even manage to do stuff like that. They just stay in that same regime of work and and bad diet and stuff like that, and they never really experience what or what we see, what we see every day. So I'm glad your dad got to experience that.
Yeah, and so the voluntary suffering that you mentioned and how that builds a lot of resilience. He always used to mention Yander Morrison and the team down there with their the paddling team that you're associated with, and I think the camaraderie is probably what gets you through a lot of those tough, cold mornings. As much as it's that mental struggle that through that you develop certain characteristics or values like discipline and, as I said, like resilience. How much do you think it has been the group that has got you through in a lot of those tougher training days? Is that a big part of why you paddle?
Yeah, massive part. It's as I said, the paddling community that we have, and it's not just one. Like I'm probably involved in a few different little communities of paddlers, but my main one down at Clontarf, the iPaddle group, is a lot of local guys from the Balgowlah, Manly area and Mossman area. So, and they've been training with me since I started in 2002. A lot of those guys. So, and it's nice to see the progression. As I spoke before about, watching Matt lose, 17 kilos in the space of a few months because he started exercising, and watching him finish. I remember standing on the beach. We're about to pack up all the flags and at the doctor, and no, I said we can't pack up all the flags. We've got to leave a few out because Matt's still out there. So, and to watch him, finish the race, well after the large part of the 99% of the field had finished, but to see the joy that he got from completing that event was phenomenal. And I remember the whole group, or a lot of the group, being down there on the beach that day to see that happen, and that was a pretty proud moment for me because Matt had been paddling with us, with Yander and I, and while we're the coaches of the group, the whole group contributes to his result, and they contribute to everyone's result. So if everyone has, if someone has a good result in a paddling event, it's the work from the whole group, because the whole group works together to make everyone better.